Well, hello everyone. I hope that you've had a great week, a productive week, and all those wonderful things that go with it. Last time we were here together, I showed you all the things that I had made already and to go for my market. I had asked people that are experienced in markets, like, what should I make more of to have multiples? And pretty much everybody said just about the same thing. The mini octos, I think everybody said. The axolotls, the, what do you call them? The possums. More of my birds and, oh, I can't remember. But I made a list, I just don't have it out here with me. Now, to me, everything sounds underwater and echoey. I am hoping that it is not echoing in here for the sound. People have said if you throw blankets and stuff like that on the floor, that it helps with the echo. So I have a blanket on the floor. I have towels over my chairs, and hopefully that's helping with the sound. But I can't tell because my ears are still like whacked out from this sinus thing. Anyhow, I don't feel like I had a very productive week. I think the last time we were here together was Wednesday, so it's been a full week. And I started making the little mini octos, and then on Thursday, I made more mini octos. Well, no, I started with axolotls, and I had made 3 pink ones and had started a 4th, but didn't get to finish it. And then on Friday was Jenna's birthday, so it was complete my Etsy orders and bake her an upside down pineapple cake and then take her out to dinner. So Friday was a total wash. Saturday, I finished up my pink axolotl that I started on a blue, and decided I'm bored with making axolotls. I need to make something different. Let's switch it up. So I started making little mini octos. And I got quite a few done. And then Sunday, I had to do orders again to get caught up for orders that came in on Friday and Saturday, and then anything that came in Sunday before I started. So I did that, and then I was able to do a couple of more octos. And then Monday came, and I had an appointment for the dreaded mammogram. And, you know, being female and having to go to the doctor, it's like ending up in a torture chamber. I just don't understand how they can design this equipment and think that it's something that we want to do. It's not a pleasant experience. First off, the thing squeezes you like being in a vice grip. I mean, it's not like extremely painful, but it's uncomfortable. But then just the thought of these strange people manhandling your body parts, it's like, I don't like this. But anyhow, so that kind of blew my day on Monday. But I was thinking, you know, I want to have other things besides plushies. So years ago, we had bought Jenna one of those circular knitting machines, you know, the Sentro. And, you know, because it was a toy and she was interested. She used it for like 2 days and tucked it away in the closet and never pulled it back out. Well, we pulled it out. And I thought, if I can figure out how to use this thing, maybe it would be a quick way to do hats or the headbands, because it takes me a long time. Oh, for example, this little hat here is a 3 to 6 month size, and it is crocheted. So I got an end to work in. In the amount of time that it took me to make this hat, I probably could have made 5 or 6 of these or more. This took me a few hours. Now, granted, it was my first time doing this pattern, but it's a 2-row repeat, you know, it's not that difficult. It's just using such a small hook so that it takes so many more stitches. I'll have to try this on a chunky yarn. But this came off of a video here on YouTube. And the channel, I believe, is called Crochet for Baby. Well, in the description, it tells you like how wide to make the brim for the different sizes of hats and then how long it should be. So there's that. And this is the crocheted one. Well, I was playing, oh my goodness, with that Addy machine. Or not Addy, Sentro. Now I can't knit. Now Nick, she's one of the subscribers and followers. She sent me some knitting needles and some Tunisian crochet hooks and emailed me some patterns to start off with, you know, something easy like doing washcloths. So I tried, but I need like 4 hands to knit. For someone, I don't know, I just like, it was so awkward. So I put it down and I haven't picked it back up again. I tried for a few days there and I just was struggling to grasp that concept. So I was playing with that knitting machine, and the first one I did, and I love the look of these, and it's the double, Toby just jumped off the table and made the table shake. Kitty cat earthquake. It's double layered, but I love how it has the cuff and everything. But this is extremely thick. Like, in my opinion, way too hot for Florida. Now, if I lived in a northern state, this would be great where you actually had cold weather or something. But I think for down here, it's just extremely thick. So, and that was using a worsted weight acrylic. So I had some Scarfie. And I said, well, I want to see how this thing works with Scarfie yarn. And again, it's double layered. That's a lot of cranking on the machine if you're doing it manually. And this isn't like the best color of the Scarfie yarn, but it's one I knew I wouldn't use on anything else. So I said, well, why not? We'll test it. And it went through the machine okay. I didn't have any problems with that. This stitch looks good. It's just, you know, Scarfie has wool in it, and this would be extremely, extremely hot for here. And this is, I guess, the slouchy type. But this machine, because it only has the 40 pins, you gotta have kind of a small head. So for nothing else, I thought maybe it would make some cute baby hats, you know, for toddler size hats. So, oh my goodness. I've tried, because of the double layer thing, I said, let me try doing with just one layer. So I looked up a few videos, like how do you end off that knitting so that it looks nice and neat. And if you're just gonna fold up the single layer, it looks weird. I mean, I wouldn't say weird, but it looks like it's inside out when you look at this type of stitch. So I tried this, and of course, there's no stitch or row counter on this machine. So I'm trying to count as I go. And that's when all the interruptions happen, is when you have to count. Never fails. So I have no idea how long this is. I just kept cranking. And then when I took it off, I did 1, 2, 3, it looks like 4 rounds of single crochet to try and make a brim. And then I was like, I don't really care for that too much. I mean, it's not awful. I don't know how it's supposed to look because I've never done it before. So I broke out a couple of other colors and I said, well, what would happen if I did it with double crochet? And this is what I got, and it doesn't fold right. I think I should have done a round of single crochet and then do like the front loop to start the double crochet. And I would have gotten rid of that yellow color, mustard color at the bottom. But that was with the double crochet. Then I said, all right, let me try this one more time. And I tried so hard. I shut the door and I tried so hard for these people not to interrupt me when I'm trying to count. But Jenna also wanted her hair colored yesterday because her and her boyfriend tried to make her hair pink, which meant that, and she has dark brown hair. They had to strip the color out and then put the pink on. Well, the stripping process didn't go too well. So she's been a ginger for about 2 weeks now, and she's finally had enough of it. She felt like she gave her hair enough of a break that we can put some hair color in it. So I was also trying to do her hair color for her and keep track of what I was doing. So I did this one with brown and then a tweed for a border. And obviously right here you can see is where I joined. I have to tie that tighter because it's coming a little loose there, which I haven't cut my ends yet, so it's no big deal. And I just did 2 single crochets at the end. So I like how this finished off better than the others that I tried. So this, I guess you could fold it and have it like that as well, which would be fine. I just wanted a way to do that clean finish. And then I have some of those furry pom-poms, but they have that a little elastic on it. And I was like, they always end up floppy for me whenever I try to attach them. So if I decide to do this, if I can be successful with this, because these go really quick. These are quick and it's not super thick and heavy. So I think it would be okay for Florida weather. I want to get the snap-on kind so that they can be taken off and the hats can get thrown in the laundry, because we know how kids are. A lot of them are just plain old dirt magnets. So I also wanted to try and do the ear warmer headband tile twisted knot. So this one was my first attempt and I haven't worked in my ends. I did it out of a DK, anti-pilling DK, but I didn't make it long enough. So I had Jenna try it on for me so I could see, and it was a little tight. So I didn't make it long enough. When you watch the tutorials or anything like that, they tell you, do this many rows. But they don't tell you like in inches how long it should be. Like once you stretch it and you make it look like a knit stitch, how long should that stretch be? I don't know. I'm still working on that. So that one was with DK. And then this turned out so pretty, but again, too small. I love the way this yarn worked up. So whenever I go yarn shopping, I am always attracted to the colors in the variegated, but I always find it hard to use it in a project. But I love the colors. It just draws me in, and I'm a sucker every time. I go in telling myself, you will not do it, you will not do it, you will not do it, and then I always walk out with variegated yarn. Every time. So this one was one that I had, and I absolutely love how those colors worked up. I mean, if I was a knitter, what a gorgeous sweater this would make. It's just, I love it. Just love it. Or even, I mean, I don't know, is that thick enough for a scarf? Probably, but it's double layered, so it's really heavy. For Florida, I don't know. But I think, oh, my arm. I think it turned out nice, but it's too short. And I did more rows in this than I did in the other, but I think this has less stretch because of it being the 4-weight, if that makes sense, like the stitch is tighter. So it doesn't have as much stretch as that one does. So I spent a couple of days playing with that and neglecting my crochet. So technically in the last 2 days, I have made only one plushie, and it was a little baby octopus. So for the plushies, now that I've rambled on for 17 minutes, I apologize. These were the first 2 pink axolotls that I did. These are out of the Parfait Chunky, and it is a pattern that I bought. I know there's free ones out there, but it is one that I bought on Etsy, and I haven't made it in a while since I first bought it. So I was actually confused when I did this, but I have learned enough since I bought it to be able to make adjustments on my own to make it work for me. So the pattern wants you to, you know, do the slip stitch to join chain 1, start a new round, but I wanted to work in a spiral because it just goes faster. And anyhow, so I had to make adjustments on where the legs went. But these are my 2 Parfait Chunky axolotls. So then I broke out the Bernat, and I did these 2 pink ones. And this is, I don't know the color, but it was the sparkle, the baby sparkle, because it was like really the only other shade of pink that I had. And just to show you the size difference between the Parfait and the Bernat, you get probably about 3 inches longer and quite a bit wider. So 2 Parfait and 2 Bernat. And then I did 1 blue. Toby, you're shaking the table, man. Do not, Toby, no. He was going after the cord for my light, and I could just see it going crashing to the floor and then having glass shattered everywhere, which would not be a good thing. So the blue one, and this is the Bernat. I haven't done the Parfait Chunky yet. I actually want to do 1 more blue in the Bernat and 2 more blue in the Parfait. And that would give me 8 plus 1 that I already had made in this style. So 9 axolotls. Then I have a couple of the other style. When I got bored with doing those, I don't think I could do this assembly line style because you're working the same thing over and over again and it gets less interesting. I like to change it up. And I think that's how I ended up with so many different things. So once I did that, I just decided I would do the little mini octos. Now Bonnie, thank you Bonnie, she has been super helpful. She had contacted me through email and told me that the one octo I showed last week that had the curly legs, that the little kids like those better than the ones with the little nubby legs, you know, where you use the bobble stitch. And the bobble stitch is definitely easier. It is definitely faster. But if they like these better, this is what I'm going to make. So I broke out the Bernat so that I can make them a little bit bigger. And I made Okay, so we won't try that again. I made 5 with this variegated, and these turn out a little bit bigger. And let's see, they got the little curly legs. So it kind of, I don't know, it feels like it's the same work as if I was to do it in the Bernat or in the Parfait, but the customer's gonna feel like they're getting a little bit more for their money using the Bernat. So I have 5 in this variegated. Then I broke out my sparkle, whatever color this is. It kind of looks like a coral to me, but I know that is not the name of it. And I did 2. He did it. He knocked over my light. All right, you guys, this is me after I finished the video, and I forgot that I wanted to mention something. I had someone order, they contacted me through Etsy because they wanted to buy one of my little chicken keychains. If I make something that you wanted to purchase by, you know, for whatever reason and not make it yourself, the best thing to do is to contact me through email. And then I can send you an invoice through PayPal, because Etsy's fees are just outrageous. And then I have to add a little to the price, which I don't like to do. And they take, if you use a calculated shipping, the minimum weight, because it bulks the package more than 1/4 of an inch, is 4 ounces. So regardless, you're going to pay a minimum of 4 ounces, and that's packaging materials in your item and all of that. So say your shipping came out to $4, then Etsy takes part of that. So they take 6.5% of it. So then your shipping's not even covered. You know, it's crazy. So I just wanted to mention that. If for some reason you wanted to purchase one of my items and order it online, to please contact me through my email and not through my Etsy shop. So, I mean, if you prefer Etsy, that's fine. Just keep in mind that I'll have to inflate the price a little because of all the Etsy fees. They take, like, when everything's all said and done, they're taking like 20%. So if your total came out to $10, they're taking $2 of it. You know, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the fees they charge. So I just wanted to bring that up. It was an afterthought. I wanted to mention it during the video, and I forgot because, you know, I'm not a professional. I don't write scripts. I don't do that. I'm just talking off the top of my head. So back to the video. Okay, he didn't break it. It didn't shatter. But I don't think it's going to last much longer with him around. All right, anyways. So 2 out of that color. Then I got out my yellow sparkle. And these are a nice bright yellow, and did 2 of those. And you get tired of looking at the same old colors, so I did 1 in light pink, 1 in light blue, 1 in the darker blue, and 1 in this brown shade variegated. So those are my baby octos. Now I didn't do more in the pink and the 2 blues yet, because I need to make my axolotls first, and then I'll know what I have left that I can do more octos with. But I'll tell you, it's funny. People cannot talk to me when I crochet. People just, they cannot do it. I lose count, and I had one that had 9 legs. I had one that had 7 legs. And I had to frog them out, and I'm like, why are you guys doing this to me? Leave me alone. Just give me peace when I'm crocheting. So basically, out of my inventory, I got axolotls and mini octos made. But I did do 1 new pattern. Just 1. Because Bonnie has suggested that I need something large, even if it doesn't sell, to like draw people in. And I had started this cowl and I hadn't finished it yet. All the parts are made. I just need to piece it all together. And so she suggested maybe I use that, but it's just, he's black and white. It's a cowl. So I was like, let me try something colorful. So All From Jade came out with her new octo pattern. So I did this big octo, and it's no-sew. You just make 8 of these separate. And I used just 4 colors. Started with yellow, green, blue, purple. And my eyes that I had available weren't quite big enough. I think they need to be bigger. But this took a lot of stuffing. And it's not ginormous, but it's big. So, and it took me a little while to do it because of making all of these separate, but then you don't have to sew them on. They get crocheted right in. And I did the daddy. I didn't do the mama because I just didn't feel like it. I just wanted to do one solid one that I can sit there and put a fairly high dollar price tag on it and just see what happens. So if this is spectacular enough, spicy enough to draw somebody in, I don't know. I don't know. I may never know at this pace. So I also, I mentioned that I had purchased the poly-fil that Hobby Lobby has because like my local Walmart was out and they had these big, I think it's a 5-pound box. Might be more than that in it, I don't remember. But it was $14.99. So Jenna was down in that area and I had her pick it up. And I swear it is so different from the bags of poly-fil that you can pick up at Walmart. Now, of course, I live in the middle of nowhere. And we have one local Walmart. All others are approximately 45 minutes away. And mine was sold out. That's how I ended up with the Hobby Lobby poly-fil. But that stuff is like, I don't know if I brought the two out here and showed you, if you'd be able to see the difference. Let me go get it. All right, this is Hobby Lobby. This is the poly-fil that you get at Walmart. This is, once you get it in there, and then you have to pack it enough to like shape your critter. This is like trying to work with wet cotton. You know, take a cotton ball and get it wet and just see how wonderful that is to work with. I can't even stick the needle through this to work in my ends. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. This has like bounce to it. And I have no problem working in my ends with this. Hobby Lobby, Walmart. Now this is much whiter. I mean, whiter, if you, then this kind of, it looks, has like a dirty look to it compared to this. When you look at the two shades of color, this is awful to work with. But I'm not going to waste it. I will use what I have because I can use it in the little ones like this. My keychains, it'll take me a while to go through what I have left. But this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. This, the original poly-fil that Walmart sells, I have to keep up way high away from Toby because this is the one he likes to grab little tough stub and run off with. And then I find little puffs of poly-fil all over the house. He can be a little pain in the you-know-what. What I found out was, again, my local Walmart was out of stock on the poly-fil. So I looked on Amazon, and you know, Amazon is not always the cheapest place to go. They tell you if you have Prime like I do, I order a lot from them, things that I can't get locally for my button business, like the toner for my printer and cases of paper and the toner cartridges and all that. In that instance, like I think Staples is the closest office supply place to me, which is 45 minutes away. And buying the toner on Amazon is $10 a cartridge cheaper than what I would have to pay locally. And since each one has its own color, you're talking $40 each time you have to re-up your toner. So I do order a lot from Amazon. So I looked on Amazon and they had the original poly-fil. So they had like big boxes of it, which I don't want a big box. I could probably use a big box, but I don't want a big box because I don't have anywhere to put the big box. You could get, they had a 32-ounce bag, which is 2 pounds, and they wanted 14 and some change for it. Well, then they had a 16-ounce bag that was $5 and some change. And I'm like, who does their pricing? Because that makes no sense. Because I can get 2 16-ounce bags cheaper than I can get that one 14-ounce bag and save like $5. So that's what I did. I ordered because I couldn't get it here local without having to spend 3 hours out and about to go and just get poly-fil. So I ordered the 16-ounce bags, and it was, I couldn't believe the way the pricing structure on that was. Like, do they think we don't look? Maybe. Okay, so now that Toby has given me a near heart attack with my light and has caused kitty earthquakes throughout this video, which I apologize for, we are going to move along and go over to this video right here, and we will see you over there.